So they have FE as their 8th function, and so they put that out there for the sake of everyone else. They don't necessarily value it very much themselves. But at the same time, because they have put that effort into it, you have to make sure you show them FE. This seems kind of counterintuitive with an ENTJ because they just like all guts and blood kind of feel to them. But yes, you need to send them hearts and be warm with them, and they like even baby them and stuff. Well, they like it. And you wouldn't think that. And I think that's what was missing in my relationships earlier with ENTJs. You definitely have to do that. That'll oil the relationship and keep it going. But one funny thing about ENTJs, and this is something that they're doing to be friendly to everybody, they have this whole horse and pony show, and it's very unique and individual to each one, but they all have one, I think, that they pull out, and they entertain everybody with this. And it's really kind of tongue-in-cheek and sassy for the women. It's very charming, and they play this character to the hilt, and they have so much fun with it. And most people, I think, just think that they are that character, and it's just really hilarious because they're kind of poking fun at themselves and everybody else at the same time. And I know we go to my grandpa's house. He would tell us stories the whole time. That was this thing, and some of these stories poked fun at him, some of them poked fun at other people, and he would, this is how he would entertain us. ENTJs can, like I said, they're perfectionists. My language partner told me that out now. I know my grandpa is. My friend told me she used to be that way. So, yeah, they're perfectionists. Also, let's see, for the second function, they have NI. That's really cool that you can talk to them about NI stuff. Of course, they have a lot more control over it than an INFJ has. And they can see, what's under things, what's really happening, that sort of thing. They're very visionary. Usually when they're the leader, they're at the top. Because, the top leader can't just, be following orders. They have to be formulating the direction to go and being able to calculate where everything is going and all this sort of thing. My language partner was sure that he was an ESTJ, and I was like, no, there's no way that you're an ESTJ. Well, for one thing, I feel exhausted talking to ESTJs. Nothing personal, it's just that they're the most different. If you can express yourself with an ESTJ, it's a lot better, because then they'll make room for you. But if you don't, and you're just doing your FE thing, you're going to feel so exhausted. But anyway, I had told him, about the thing of, the more expensive the running shoe that you get, the more likely it is you're going to get a serious injury and stuff. And so he had hurt himself, and so he started running the other way, just not on his heel, on the front of his foot, and using shoes that weren't so cushioned. And it's a lot better now. But he just, went and did it, and I was like, you wouldn't have done that if you were an ESTJ. And he's like, well, somebody else told me about it before, but I mean, still. And I was just helping him with his resume, and that exhausted me. By the way, I can do that sort of thing, but it really wears me out. But anyway, I know it's just he's always looking for a better way to do things. It's like, that is so not ESTJ. But anyway, well, he was favoring traditional, and this is the thing, according to somebody's culture, he comes from a more traditional culture. People will pick things that are seen favorably in their culture when they're filling out something, so that's how the test can be incorrect. But anyway, they have NE for their last function. That's probably the last thing I'm going to talk about on them. They have NE for their 6th function. This is a very strong function for them, and possibly their entire personality is based upon it. My NE gives people a certain restlessness. I was going to say about how I type my grandpa. It's kind of interesting. I guess I'll say that after this. Anyway, NE people have kind of a certain restlessness to them, and my grandpa and my friend both are doing this with their fingers all the time. I don't know about my language partner because I don't see him, I just hear him. But I did have an ENFJ student, and I mean, they have the same thing. I don't think that they necessarily do that with their fingers, but they have this, restlessness to them, and also a texture, especially the more that they live, that any texture kind of thing. Ideally, because they value NI as their second most favorite function, they wish that they could just really focus. They don't like the NE. The NE is about options and exploring different paths and all that sort of thing. And to them, that's kind of an irritation. It's something they don't appreciate, but it is a big strength of theirs that everybody else can see. And I think it really enables them to do what they do a lot better, because they can choose like from more different options and stuff, and then narrow it down to the best one, that kind of thing. You know, I mean, if they're ignoring it, I think they're going to miss out on a lot on their personality. It allows them to be a lot more flexible, basically. About my grandpa, this is kind of funny. I wasn't able, you know, relatives are kind of bigger than life sometimes, and especially if you didn't know about MBTI when you met them, to know, you know, like what to look for and stuff. And he's not, you know, with us anymore, so trying to type him was pretty, especially trying to ask my INFP mom about him. Oh gosh. I did not get any objective answers there. Anyway, and I didn't spend a lot of time with my grandpa either, so, we didn't live very close to him. But anyhow, I could not figure out what he was. I was just going around and around in circles. Finally, I was like, God help me. And it became clear. But anyway, I'll tell you what it was that makes me up about him. One, the restlessness. I was guessing that maybe he was an ISTP, and this is for a lot of reasons. Because of the restlessness, well, you know, it's kind of similar to ISTPs in the way of ISTPs have this extreme latent energy. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of, I mean, they relax and they look like they relax and stuff, but they're always ready to, you know, like spring into action. I mean, physically and socially, they're just like, you know. And so I kind of mistook that for that. And then, you know, especially if you don't know about like socionics, and I don't, you know, claim to know all about it. I just seen some videos by somebody who has studied it, and it makes sense insofar as I've seen it and thought about it. But he was definitely FI, for example. Very definitely FI. And you could see him going, well, he was SE. I'll have to say that first because that would lend itself to the ISTP. He was SE. Also, I know that he made some pretty glass flowers when he was younger, and, you know, ISTPs can be kind of artistic. Also, he wasn't like a big people person. He was very good at managing people. I mean, he did enjoy them and stuff, but, you know, I don't know if you've been around entjs at all, but like my friend she'll go to the restaurant and read, so that, you know, just hang out there because there's people around, but like she's kind of happy leaving by herself. You know, she's kind of annoyed if there's somebody around all the time, that sort of thing. I don't know. entjs, they're good with people, but they're also happy managing things. You know what I'm saying? And me, I have to have somebody else, you know, around, at least to be able to feel them. So there goes your stereotypes about introverts and extroverts. But anyway, so there was that, and then like he really had the NE, and these are just things that confuse him. He really had the NE, and I think the longer you live, the more your other functions come out, particularly your 6-1. So he really had that texture, but then he also had the NI. He had the magical thing going and sending this little messages. And then, like I said, obviously FI, the way he held himself and everything. But then you had this impression of warmth, and that's because he really turned it on when you first came. So that was the first impression that you got. And these things, you know, if you don't know about socionics, it's kind of confusing. But finally it became clear, and there you have it. I've also read quite a bit, like on forums and stuff, about entjs. Well, not quite a bit, but some. They can also get into, like some of the types, they can get into bullying, and they can get into isolating or gaslighting, that sort of thing. But again, it entirely depends on the person, on who they are as a person. And I personally have never had entjs do that to me. So I think that's it. Entjs I know have been very helpful to me, and my friend is really sweet. And like I said, I just really appreciate that they really go out of the way to help you grow and help you develop. And I think that's it.